चार्जर तो लगा हुआ है। हाँ। अरे डाउनलोड नहीं हो रही थी तो मैंने उस पर की।
हेलो।
So very warm welcome to our guest from Mid Sweden University. It's a pleasure to have you on campus again. The last time you were on campus, it was an holiday, so you were not able to probably see the student strength on campus. But today, being an Amity Youth Fest, and we were really happy to have you as the inaugural part of our event today. Um, I think you were able to understand the gravity, the strength of Amity, the student numbers. This campus itself is about 38,000 students. So, and it's bustling with energy and life today. Uh, Amity as a group, we are a young university, about 2 decades old. And I will now request our Group Vice Chancellor, Dr. Gurinder Singh sir, who has been with the foundation right from day one and very instrumental in internationalization at Amity, to please share the Amity as a group and lay the roadmap of this collaboration. May I request everyone to please welcome sir with a big round of applause.
Very warm welcome to our friends from the Mid Sweden University. Uh, Before you came, we had a very extensive meeting on the points which we discussed when you were last time you were here. Then we were able to create a summary that what are the interested areas where both sides can collaborate. But it would be great if today, by the time you go, we are able to shortlist and make a strategy on the timelines which we need to follow up, and then what we need to do immediately in the next 6 months, and then in the next 2 years, and in the next 5 years. But Vice Chancellor, very brief presentation to give you an overview of MIT. You were talking about it, how many campuses we have. So we will just give you an overview of the university so that you have a view that what we are doing, where our focus is, what the vision of this foundation is, and how we operate. So very warm welcome to the visiting team, a very senior delegation which has come from the Mid Sweden University. We are privileged that we have got Vice Chancellor, Professor Falstrom, Professor Anna Olofsson, Professor Nilsson, Professor Delland, Professor Dalal, Professor Nordenmark, Associate Professor Aliosen, Associate Professor Seiden, Associate Professor Ottigrin, and Assistant Professor Margaret. MIT is a dream and a vision of our founder, Dr. Chauhan, about which I was talking in the auditorium. He has spent more than 3 decades in Europe and has got a special affection for the Europe. He came back to India, to Asia, to create a number of universities, number of schools where we should be able to give the quality education. As we often say, the leadership matters. The chancellor of this university has also educated in Europe, so you can very well see that what kind of emphasis we do we give to Europe. He is the product of London School of Economics. Dr. Atul Chauhan has studied in Europe, and we have got a very strong presence in Europe. We are in Netherlands, we are in London. We work with some of the top brands in UK and in Europe also. Today, this is the largest private education group of India with 200,000 students, with more than 6,000 faculty and scientists. We have got 12 universities and the only education group of India which has got 12 universities. We are in Noida, Gurugram, Greater Noida, Lucknow, Jaipur, Mumbai, Gwalior, Kolkata, Raipur, Ranchi, Patna, Mohali, and Bengaluru. And the new university is coming in Hyderabad. With more than 150 institutions and universities and overseas campuses in London, Singapore, New York, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Mauritius, South Africa, Kenya, Amsterdam, San Francisco, and in Uzbekistan in Tashkent. We are a truly global group with global values, and our concentration is to have association and partnership with like-minded universities to explore the opportunities we can offer to our students. We have got 28 schools and preschools, 2,000 acres of campuses, 20 million square feet of buildings, 400 programs covering almost every discipline you can think of. More than 2,100 patents our faculty have filed in the recent past. 4,200 case studies we have been able to develop. 400 research projects which are ongoing with the Government of India, and we are the largest partner to Government of India. This is what our total metrics is all about, right from the pre-nursery schools, Amion schools, to K-12 schools, undergrad programs, postgraduate programs, PhD programs, postdoctoral programs, very, very strong in distance and online education, corporate training, and continuing education. These are some of the premier accreditations which we have been able to get. But these are the two which I think we particularly feel proud of. We have got a European accreditation from QA, which means that whatever the UK universities are offering in UK and in other parts of the Europe, we have mapped them with the syllabus of our university. Also, we are the only university which has got the vast accreditation for the 8 years. In terms of ranking, we are amongst the top 3% universities globally. And in terms of employment, we are amongst the top 1% globally of the world. This is the latest ranking which we got. In terms of internationalization, MIT is the best university, and this includes private as well as the public rankings which we have received very recently from QS. In terms of sending students abroad, we were asking that how many students we were sending abroad. We have sent the highest number of students abroad as per the QS rankings. In terms of the research networking, we are amongst the top 3 players in India, which includes public as well as private. This is the latest ranking of THE, which shows MIT has been able to produce most employable graduates, along with IIT Delhi, which is a government university, IIT Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIT Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur, all of them, they are the government institutions. And the private, only a private education group which is in this league is MIT University. This slide will give you a overview that how we benchmark ourselves. Our international business school is the best in Asia. Our business school is among the top 3 business schools of the country. Our law school has been able to offer the largest number of students in India. Our school of biotechnology is the best biotechnology institution of the country. Our scientists, they have been working day and night on the various areas of research about which they will be talking. We are the only university which has been able to offer programs in AI, in data science, machine learning, and in the new age technologies 10 years back. So first one in India to offer such programs. Most of our campuses, they are certified by the US Green Building Council. We have got the platinum certificate. And these photographs will give you a view of how many campuses we have and what size they have. The campus where you are sitting, it's about 87 acres campus, which is in Noida, next to Delhi. This is our Lucknow campus. This is a photograph of our Jaipur campus, another 140 acres campus. This is our Gurgaon campus, another 110 acres campus, which is quite close to the airport. This is our Gwalior campus. This is our Mumbai campus. This is our Raipur campus. This is our Kolkata campus. This is our Ranchi campus. This is our Patna campus. This is our Mohali campus, where we are focusing on developing international collaborations. This is our Bengaluru campus. And not only that, we have gone to the world. We have tried to bring some of the leading brands of the world to India and to the other parts of the world. For example, Harrow, which is one of the leading brands of the world, we have been able to bring the brand Harrow, and they have opened their first school in India, in Bengaluru, in association with MIT. Similarly, you will find that these are the photographs of our international campuses, MIT University in Dubai. This is our Singapore campus. We have got 2 campuses now in Singapore. This is a new building out Orchard Road. If you go to Singapore, it's right on the MRT station. This is our campus in London. We are at the Bradford Square, next to the British Museum. This is our university in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent. Photograph of our university in Mauritius. This is our campus in Amsterdam, where we went on the government of Netherlands and opened up a campus. This is our school in Abu Dhabi. Our 175 acres campus in New York, which we acquired from St. John's University. And I think these are the areas, few areas which we have discussed in the past, and we like to explore today that what we can do. I think that one of the very focus area is short duration programs of the students, which we can look at in the area of management, psychology, international relations, engineering, and biotechnology. Another area which Admiral Bhatnagar discussed last time when you were here, I think it was India Immersion Program, and we have been welcoming large number of students from Australia, from Canada, from UK, from USA, and from Europe in this program. This is a very strong program where the students who become a part of our ecosystem, we are able to provide them the education about that if they have to start their own ventures in India, or if they have to work with some of the leading universities of India, then how they can be a part of our ecosystem. We'd also like to explore that how we can send our students on a short duration program to Sweden. We know that in Sweden, the concentration is on technology. Our students have been working with some of the Sweden companies. I introduced you with one of our colleagues whose son is doing PhD with you, and whose daughter-in-law is working in Sweden. But I think that I was in the morning, I was just looking at about 18, 19 students in the last 2 years. They have gone to Sweden and working in the various companies. Under the new education policy, I think one thing which we will like to concentrate is sending students in good numbers to the various parts of the world to do their internships and to pick up the apprenticeships. Vice Chancellor, we are trying, Professor Paulstrom, to create an ecosystem where the students can do at least a semester in some of the good universities, especially in Sweden, and can bring back that kind of experience. And under the new education policy now, that credits can be fully transferred. So there is no university right now in India which has been able to focus on this aspect of the new education policy. A number of people are looking at just articulation agreements or just doing short exchange, whereas our concentration is that we should not be only giving them the certificates, but we should be able to see that they bring value back, or if they want to be employable anywhere in the world, they should be able to take our university and the name of your university in the other parts of the world. So I think that is something which we like to discuss. We did similar thing with some of the other universities around the world. Only last week, the Vice Chancellor of University of Monash was there, and we had a very interesting discussion with them. I remember that 7 months back when their team came, they said that hardly any students they go to Australia, and though we have discussed so much with the Indian universities, nothing is practically happening with Australia. We sent a delegation of about 35 students and 2 faculty members. And I was checking out this year that how many students are going to Australia in Monash, 137. So I think that we would like to create a similar program with your university where the students can go, can experience your university on a short duration program. We can put them on some projects. They can work in labs. They can work with some good companies, can bring back that kind of experience. And then we can see that how we can integrate either them in the industry in India, in Asia, or in other parts of the world. So that is the one typical program in which we are very much interested. We are welcoming this year somewhere about 1,000 students from across the globe. We would be very happy if your students they want to spend a semester with us, or want to come on the India immersion program, or they want to do a research with us. This is primarily a university where the research is in our DNA. So we would like to explore with you that can we do make a system maybe to start with 10 scholars who are doing PhD with us. We can have another PhD guide from your university. We have made it mandatory in our university that a student has to compulsory pick up two guides. This will improve citations of both the universities, H index of both the universities, and will also explore that can we file some joint patents, can we write books, can we do conferences together. This university has organized, and this is the very lately we got an award from IEEE, has organized highest number of research conferences across the globe. Only last week we finished with one of our very high-powered research conference called InBush. So if you Google it, you will find that this is the best research conference in Asia from the last 25 years. We have been organizing it. But then we are taking a research conference to London in the month of April. We are doing something in France where INSEAD and N plus I and Global, they are our partners. Then we are going to New York, where NYU and Berkeley and Harvard and MIT, they are our academic partners, and we are doing it with Springer, which is our publishing partner. We are then going to Toronto in Canada with IEEE. We are again organizing a conference there. Then we are taking our research to Dubai in Middle East, in Tashkent, and also in the other parts of the world, which includes in Melbourne in Australia. And this is another proposal that can we do similar thing in Sweden. So we can think of creating a research ecosystem. 1 year we can do in Sweden, 1 year we can do in India. This will bring your faculty, our faculty together. We can explore areas of mutual interest, and which will surely improve the faculty to faculty linkages. But in the longer term, we will like to look at articulation agreement. We have identified 5 areas, and I think that you have brought a delegation. We will like to sit with you to understand that how quickly we can look at the articulation arrangements, specifically on a semester exchange and on giving the practical training to our students. So those are the areas which we like to work. Under the new education policy, we can now give dual degree and joint degrees. We will like to sit with you to understand which courses, specifically if we are able to do some programs which are industry focused and which are research focused. how many credits we are able to offer. We are in a process of changing the entire curriculum of this university and integrating it with the global curriculum. So I think which was essential. You were in the morning, you were talking about Honorable Prime Minister talking about it. I think the only university which has been able to do it and is seriously implementing it is MIT. We'll also like to explore on online degrees that can we do a hybrid model where a part of the program can be done here through online mode. We are creating an ecosystem where each student of MIT is getting number of certifications. We are in touch with somewhere about 37 top companies of the world, and our aim is that next 1 year we should be able to look at almost all Fortune 500 companies and can offer a bouquet of certifications to our MIT students. So we are in touch with Microsoft, with Oracle, with Mastercards, with IBM, with TCS, and we want that every student who's a part of our system, while they are here, they should be able to get at least one to five certifications from some leading companies. At the same time, we also want that each student of MIT University should also get a certification from some of the top universities of the world. And that is why we have requested you that you become a part of our system. And by the time the students graduate, postgraduate, or do their research, their biodata is so strong. They have got certifications from the industry. They have got certifications from the various universities. They have got a global exposure and they have got a practical experience. So that the dream of the founder of this university to see that the students they get the average salary equivalent to someone who is in US, who is in Europe, who is in Australia, we will be able to fulfill. These are the few plans under which we have welcomed the student under the New Colombo plan, USAID program, Erasmus Plus projects, where a lot of students have come under the UCARI planning. These are the European students who came in November and under the India Immersion program. We do ambassador lecture series. We call the various ambassador, and the ambassador of Sweden has been on the campus on the previous occasion. You can see a few photographs. These are the Nobel laureates who have been to MIT and have got the centers which have been established. We will give you a round, and maybe that the center heads and the directors of these centers, they will talk about themselves, that what they have been doing in these centers. We have got more than 300 honorary professors who keep on interacting with our students through virtual modes, and also whenever they are in India, we invite them to spend some time on the campuses. This is a project called Pan-African E-Network Project, through which we have been able to educate more than 80,000 students in Africa. We will show you our incubator, which is one of the best incubators of the world. In India, from the last 3 years, it has been ranked as the best incubator of India. Courses in almost every field. And these are our research linkages across the globe. We are very keen that by the time you go, we should be able to highlight Sweden as one of the countries where we are exploring and trying that we should have at least strong research linkages to start with. These are the various companies which have very strong association with us. Some of them, they have got their centers. Some of them, they come for consulting. Some of them, they come for training. Some of them, they come for placements, picking up the students. We are the largest partner of Government of India. More than 54,000 personals we have trained in government. And we say that whatever you do, you have to give back to the society. So I think that through the various social initiatives, whether it's the initiative where we are giving a lot of respect to the old people, this is the university which has adopted the old people. People adopt children. We have adopted more than 200 old people. They come on the campus, they narrate their stories, and seeing is believing. Similarly, we have got 3,000 students to whom we offer 100% scholarship, right from the nursery class to their PhD. This is the vision of the MIT, having 35 universities. Today we have got 12 universities, but in next 5 years, we want to open up 35 universities in India, 100 campuses across the country, and 50 overseas campuses. And next time we will meet, we want to see the Sweden flag as our very, very strong partner. Thank you so very much. It was a privilege speaking to you.
Thank you so much, Group Vice Chancellor Professor Singh, sir. Amity, as Sir has shared, we are a innovation and research and innovation driven university. Relatively a very younger university, just 2 decades old, as I shared with you. But in terms of our university's H index, we are 139, which is the highest in India and perhaps one of the highest within Asia. To talk more about our research initiatives, may I now request Dr. A.K. Singh, who is the Vice President AFSTIA, to share Amity's research and innovation driven.
Good afternoon to all of you and namaskar. And I think it's a kind of a second round of interaction with esteemed guests and the delegation from Sweden University. I think I'll try to just highlight the things which I could not share this morning and take you through the journey of research and development in the MIT universe. I think we all are sitting in this campus. It is because due to the vision of Dr. Chauhan, who is founder president of this MIT universe, who is supported by his two all the sons, enabled chancellors of various universities, and Dr. Atul Chauhan, who is the alumnus of London School of Economics, and Dr. Asim Chauhan, who is a product of Wharton Business School. The family who is well educated from best of the institutions of this world. I think this has already been amply highlighted by Dr. Gurinder Singh. I will skip this, but I'll say that today we stand with about 2,100 patents filed and 319 granted. I think I highlighted this. Basically, we boast of saying that we are research and innovation driven university. And what I understand, for research to take place effectively, we should have all the ingredients and the aspects required to do good research must be in place. And to me, one is intent and support. And I think this we get amply from the promoters, from founder president and his family to do the research. And we have got in place very robust enabling processes, which I will be sharing with you. And the another ingredient is human research resources. I'll share with you that how do we gather human resource and what human resources do we have, and the infrastructure, and lately what impact we are able to make and how do we make this impact. If we see the courses offered by MIT University, is a huge, large number of courses, right from material sciences to anthropology, biotechnology, economics, marine science, food technology, molecular medicine and stem cell, nanotechnology, solar and alternate energy, defense technology, space technology, virology, immunology. We work on various areas, or public health, ocean research. We also participate in the Indian Antarctic missions. So that is the canvas of research which we enjoy. And when I said the enablers, we have various mechanisms, like we have IPR protection cell, which takes care of our knowledge which we generate, and Directorate of Innovation and Technology Transfer, the patents which we file, and when we want to take it to the industry for production or for realization, we have a independent TOT, means Tech Transfer Directorate. We also have the DST MIT Technology Enabling Center. This center has been created in MIT by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. And the main role of this Technology Enabling Center is just to improve or take the TRL level of any research to the higher and higher levels. These means they support the maturation of the TRL levels. We have MIT Center for Entrepreneurship Development, I think, which is self-explanatory, and MIT University for ESL. And we also have other enablers like FCTIA and STIP. When I say FCTIA, means MIT Foundation for Science, Technology, Innovation Alliances, and MIT Science, Technology, Innovation Foundation, which I have explained. Basically, in nutshell, we act as facilitators, accelerators, or catalysts. We connect our faculty to various agencies. We help them to decide research. We help them planning the research. We help them in monitoring or reviewing the research. Thereby, we want to strengthen the R&D ecosystem in MIT. To make it more robust, Founder President has created missions, which I discussed this morning. Mission Impossible, Mission Connect. What we are doing now, Mission Synergy, Mission Outcome. And there is a dedicated mission on outcome. Each and every activity in the campus is monitored and is evaluated for the impact, whether tangible or intangible, whether implicit or explicit, which it is making. And the person who leads this mission is sitting in this campus, and still at the moment he is monitoring. Group Captain Kapil Shukla. He is right here because I have to be very careful of it. Then we have Mission Outcome, Mission Atomic, and another mission which is started is Focused Discussion. And let me share with you, this afternoon at 3 o'clock, we have a very eminent visitor from Department of Biotechnology, which is one of the major funding agencies of the Government of India, to have the focused discussion on the various funding schemes and how we can strengthen or how we can take our biotechnology research ahead in MIT. I think these are some of the research areas or research expertise which we are trying to share with you, like computational biology is one of the areas where we are interested in. Cancer biology is a big group where we are working. Public health, stem cell research, click chemistry, drug design and discovery, ocean and atmospheric science and technology, molecular medicine, cyber security, nanotechnology, bioenergy, and robotics, space science, that we work in these areas. Coming to the quality human resource, we have thousands of researchers who are pursuing their PhD through various schemes. I shared with you, we boast of hosting largest number of Ramalinga, Ramaswamy, and Wellcome Trust fellows in this country. Means the MIT University, we have the maximum. And this gives us a lot of confidence, because these are the fellows who have trained abroad. And when they come back, they find MIT to be the preferred destination to pursue their research dreams. We also have interact with Nobel laureates. We bring them here, we connect to them so that we motivate our faculty, students, and also take their guidance. We have more than 260 honorary adjunct professors, faculty as PhD co-guide international for our researchers. What Dr. Gurinder Singh was saying, that we want to further strengthen this aspect. Just to share some of the photographs of our fellows, and recently 2 Ramanujan fellows have joined MIT University in 2023. These are the photographs of some of the fellows, and these fellows, after completion of their fellowship, they stay with us because MIT gives them the faculty position, and many of them are full-fledged professor having their independent research group, and many PhD students are working with them. So that kind of career growth, career progression we offer at MIT University. Coming to the infrastructure, I shared with you, we have reasonably good infrastructure. This is our cancer biology lab, and we have almost all the equipments which are required, either confocal microscope or FACS or HPLC or spectrophotometers or LCMS or STEM or TEM. Almost all equipments which are required we have. And coming to the research accomplishments, I'll go through them quickly. I think I discussed with you, this is one of the impactful research which has been carried out by none other than Dr. Seema Bhatnagar, who is sitting here. Means, triple conjugate, where we are trying to, target the folate receptor on the cancer stem cell using chemosensitizer and the drug. Agri photovoltaic, I said, discussed with you this morning to enhance the income of the farmer using photovoltaics. And we are also in the cleaning of the industrial effluents using nano-based sponge, graphene quantum dots, because I will be going to very fast biodegradable plastic. This is one of the impactful outcome. Then we have herbal packaging system, reusable water purifiers, then survival proteins involved in microbes-induced self-renewal, then repurposing of the drugs. This is one of the major areas where we work. Then targeted delivery, because we have a strong pharmacy group here, and we work on various methods, modalities to target the drug to the specific target on the cancer or any other infectious disease. We work on heat sink for cooling of solar antennas. I'll go through very fast. Phase change material, nanocomposite based solar water heating systems. Then a small but impactful thing, LPG sensor to detect any LPG, means liquefied petroleum gas leakage in industry or in houses. Then we also work on high power laser absorptions and development of smart material. Dr. Sunita Ratan is sitting here. Then AI, and impactful work has been done by one of our faculties in using AI to select or to shortlist the vaccine candidate. And this research drew lot of media attention during COVID time and had the impactful outcome, means the industry was able to shortlist the vaccine candidate. Also, we use AI and deep learning for drug repurposing, not only using in silico, but also applying AI and ML for repurposing of the drugs. In biosensors, either it is the aflatoxin sensor or glycated hemoglobin sensor or other sensors like cholesterol sensor. We work on this, or detection of cardiac biomarkers. And a major group also works in the space sciences, where particularly the image processing. And we work closely with the Defense Research and Development Organization and Indian Space Research Organization. We also could win the project from a Defense Research Development Organization to detect friend and foe based on the skeletal parameters, his gait, physiological data parameters, and the face recognition. So we are able to make out whether an individual is friend or foe by his gait and his actions. And this is for basically for civil as well as military use. Post-harvest technology, a strong agri-tech group who works on that, because post-harvest technologies is a need of our in this country. Then genome editing, I think quickly, I think we also work in environmental sciences for, taking care of, net zero, reaching to the net zero, or reducing the carbon footprint, CO2 footprints. Low cost water testing kit, because potability of water is again a issue concern in this area. Here we have developed a good technology by we have etched the pebbles and impregnated them with nano silver, by which we are able to convert the water to level of potability by the kind of a dip tip what we have the tea bags. We not only get the grants from the national agencies, we also get funding from international agencies like UKERI and other agencies, and a lot of international projects are being pursued at MIT. We also got the project from DATRA, and this is on the nuclear securities, making generating the algorithm or making the models by which we can secure our nuclear assets. We also plan to have international research hubs. One of our campuses in Long Island, USA, where it is proposed to have the international research hub. And how do we do it? We, connect with people. And we are proud to say that we have around 300 national and international MOUs signed with all these agencies. We connect them and leverage our R&D efforts. We also connect with the industry with the aim that ultimately the industry is the agency who will, take our science from lab to the user. And we have a MIT Institute of Technology established by Tata. You can see in the automobile engineering. I think if you get time and if it is in your plan, you would be visiting that. We are proud to say that we have transferred around 33 technologies, right from novel protease enzyme to the last is the AI-based software for detection of male infertility. And the HR, the faculty which we have in MIT, they get international recognition. 33 of our faculties, they appear in the list of 2% scientists declared every year by Stanford University. This kind of faculty, we have those who drive the R&D in MIT. We were recognized for, filing the highest patent or our IPR portfolio by none other than the Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, in 2020. And the last year, we got another award in IPR by Confederation of Indian Industries as MIT to be the best private university to have the largest number of patents filed. And these are some of the areas which we are pursuing now, which we would like to pursue. I think maybe the click chemistries or space science, public health, drug discovery, etc. And I will stop here and thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. A.K. Singh. It's always, it's always such a privilege to hear about our researchers and all the work you're doing. I know it's very difficult to put everything in one presentation, but thank you for that. It's now time to call upon our guests who have been patiently with us since morning. We now invite Professor Anders Falstrom, Vice Chancellor of Mid Sweden University, to share his thoughts about Amity, about the university, and the roadmap. Professor Falstrom, may we request?
Maybe I can start while we're waiting for this. We will start with a short film about our university. But first, I would say once again, it's such an honor to be here at your such very prominent university. For us, that's really an honor. And we couldn't have chosen a better day than to get here with this this day when the youth festival is going on. It was really giving us energy for the afternoon and our discussions. We also are looking forward to building strong bridges between our universities. I think we should work with students, with researchers, but it could also be interesting to work with different connections to industry, for example, and innovation. In collaboration, it's important to build understand and learning to know each other. And that's one thing we should do, of course, and that's important in the long run. But to do that, I think it's important to start with something quite concrete and as soon as possible. We should work in the long run and in the short run with research and education. But we should, and I hope this day will give us an opportunity to find ways to continue and keep the speed up to get to something concrete. To do that, our university, we have decided to put in some money, some seed money, for researchers and educators to visit India or just to collaborate. So it will be easier to get starting quite fast. We will discuss a little bit more about that later, maybe. Yes.
Here, in the very middle of Sweden, where the country is rich in forests and beautiful nature, you'll find Mid Sweden University.
So, to present our university, we would like to first start with showing you a short film, just a couple of minutes, and then I will say something about the university abroad. Anna Olofsson, our Provost Chancellor, will say a few words about our research, and Hans-Erik Nilsson will give some words and show something about how we can collaborate in the future, and also something about innovation and industry relations. But let's start with this short film about our university.
Here, in the very middle of Sweden, where the country is rich in forests and beautiful nature, you'll find Mid Sweden University. In our part of
We are quite used to this. We have a lot of online education at this. Sometimes happens that technology isn't with you.
Here, in the very middle of Sweden, where the country is rich in forests and beautiful nature, you'll find Mid-Sweden University. In our part of Sweden, enormous amounts are currently being invested to contribute to the development towards a fossil-free future. Together with stakeholders in our community and society, we want to pass on our tradition of research to drive the green transition, both globally and locally. And just like the forest grows from seed to plant, Mid-Sweden University is a place where ideas and innovations grow over time. And this is why it's so important for us to offer knowledge from an early age to late in life. Therefore, our project Children's University is just as important as our belief in and work on lifelong learning.
Forests and nature play a central role in great parts of our research and education. When we explore challenges and opportunities for a sustainable transformation of our society, we include various aspects regarding natural resources, climate, and the environment. At the same time, we also include various parts of the industrial and digital transformation that is currently taking place. Hence, our research can really have an impact on people's everyday lives, no matter where in the world they live.
For a sustainable and inclusive society, we need to deepen our knowledge about power, democracy, and culture. And it is necessary to learn more about the conditions needed for living, well-being, and work in this part of the world and in other places. We also need to communicate knowledge and research findings and together enhance health and welfare.
Regardless of whether our students live in our campus cities, Sundsvall and Östersund, or if they are located in other parts of the world, such as London, San Francisco, or New Delhi, they need to be equipped with the core skills that are required for a green and sustainable future that can last for generations.
So that was the film, and you saw some pictures at least of our campuses and our cities in the very middle of Sweden. Now, maybe Anna and Hans-Erik should come up also. We should give a short presentation about what kind of university we are and what we do and how we think we could collaborate. So finally, so Mid-Sweden University is or we want to be, and we think we are a global university with regional commitment. And that means that internationalization, collaborations like the one we are going to discuss today are very important for us. But the regional society in where we have our campus is also as important. And we think that the best and the most fruitful way to develop both of these is to combine the internationalization with the regional parts. So that's why this is the slogan. We have two campuses, one in Sundsvall near the sea, the eastern part, and one in the mountains, Östersund in the western part. We are a comprehensive university. We have almost all subjects, no medicine, and very little fine arts and arts education and research. An important thing, not at least in this regional setting, is the close collaboration with industry and public sector. We work a lot with that, and there comes education, research, and also innovation in as natural parts, of course. We have approximately 25,000 students, slightly more than 1,000 employees, and a little bit more than 100 professors. What we work for, we want to be a university that is known for its openness, its kindness, and its diversity. And as you saw in the film, lifelong learning is very important for us, from Children's University, where we try to get children interested in science and to get them to go to university later in life, but also for more grown-up people after they have graduated from university. And there comes again the collaboration with industry and public sector. We are the #1 university in Sweden when it comes to distance learning and online courses and programs. We have a long tradition in that and a long experience. And I would say both pedagogically and in the technical ways, we are long before most of the other universities in Sweden. You will hear something more about our research. Anna will tell us. And as I said, we have in many different ways close cooperation with industry and public sector. We are a global university, as I said, and that means that we want to tackle global challenges. We are in an alliance with different European universities. As you might know, President Macron, some years ago, came up with the idea of European universities, called the European University Initiative. And we are now together with other universities around Europe applying to become European university. We also have a good cooperation with the Swedish-American Chamber of Commerce. Here, we want American students or American students working in Swedish companies or American companies in the US to come to Sweden and to us in Sundsvall and Östersund to read courses, but also to get in contact with the local industry. So that's a quite important part of our work internationally also. And of course, we recruit researchers, professors from all over the world. Visiting scholars is an important part of our strategy to deepening our internationalization. We have programs for international PhD students. And of course, as we'll discuss today, also student exchange and student mobility is very important. Not at least in our part of the world and in our Sweden and in our part of Sweden, in our region, it's very important to get influences from other parts of the world. And therefore, internationalization, I would say, is the most strategic thing we work on. So, Anna, some words about our research.
Yes, so I could talk very long about the research because it's, of course, lots going on in the different subjects and disciplines and research center. And the way that we organize our research is two. We have both strong research within each discipline, and so you have this within the discipline focused research, but also more interdisciplinary research, which is then organized in research centers and research forums. Most of our research, particularly in the research centers and forums, are conducted and both initiated, financed, and made in collaboration with external partners. It's both industry and public sector partners. For example, we have very good cooperation with our municipalities and our health sector. where we have contracts where we work very closely to develop research together. Another aspect of our research is that it's clearly connected to education, our educational programs. In Sweden in general, it's a requirement that all education is firmly grounded in research. So education and research is always connected one way or another. So if we look at the strong areas of research on a more overarching level, we have 4 broad clusters, you could say, which then together also include 3 strong research areas. But if we begin with these 4, we have the industrial, infrastructural, and digital transformation, which is one area where we, of course, find the science and technology research mainly, but also security and risk research. We have natural resources, climate, and the environment as the second area. We are located in an area where we have a lot of natural resources, woods and other resources. And of course, also that means that you also have conflicts over how you should use these resources in different way. We have indigenous people, the only indigenous people in Europe, the Sami people, live in the area where our university is located. And when you talk about natural resources, that often come in conflict with people living in a more traditional way. The third area, work and life, health and welfare. It's a huge area at our university. It includes nursing, public health, teaching, etc. Also tourism and that kind of research. And the last area, power, democracy, and culture for an inclusive society, is a more critical research where we find gender studies and some of our disciplines in the humanities and their research. So if we look at how this connects to a broader context, in Europe, we have Horizon Europe program. It's the funding program of Europe, the European Union. They have these different areas, so we connect our research to these broader programs. And also, if you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, you can see that they're clearly connected to our 4 research themes, because sustainability is, of course, at the core of the work we do. I said that I also mentioned these 3 strong research areas. We have transformative technologies, which is a strategic environment form of 2 of our research centers, and they collaborate, focusing on forestry industry and ICT challenges. It's a 8-year program within this area, with the budget of about $20 million for these 8 years. I don't know, Hans-Erik, would you like to add something about Transtech?
Yeah, well, Transtech was developed together with industry. It's about technology that we think is really going to produce a transition in industry, not focusing only on the core business in industry, but on the edge business, the things coming. And then, of course, we would like to attract this kind of edge financing for this. So we have this 8-year program, 2 large programs going on, one with the forest industry and one with the ICT industry. And that is focus on the edge research questions for these industries, and that are funded quite well, 50% from industry and 50% from a Swedish funding organization. Along that, of course, comes a broad range of external funding from other kind of foundations and so on. But it's a focus on transformative technologies, and we will, I think, discuss more. What does that mean? Artificial intelligence is one of them.
Thank you. A second strong area is the sustainable sports and outdoors. We have several research centers focusing on sports and outdoor related research. And for example, we have a national program called Mr. Sports and Outdoors. It's a 8-year program, at least we hope so. We're in the middle of 4 years done so far. It looks at how we can benefit from outdoor and leisure activities without challenging the sustainability issues that's related to outdoor activities. For example, people like to buy new bikes or new clothes and so on, and that enhance the environmental footprint, of course. So that's also a huge national program with a budget of about $14 million for 8 years. And the third strong environment is something quite new for us, sustainable governance and welfare, it's called. Just the other day, we got a new grant. It's not only research, it's actually mainly innovation grant, research and innovation grant. It's a 10-year program focusing on the sustainable development of the public sector with a mission to enhance the well-being and health of the Swedish population. We are coordinating this large program. As a coordinating partner, we receive about $2 million a year, and then we will have an additional budget of $5 to $15 million a year for these 10 years. So that's something we're quite excited about starting up just now this spring. And of course, that's more in the public health and this area, but also the digitalization of the health sector and so on will be a key issue here. Right, so I mentioned that our interdisciplinary research and our much of our strong research is organized in research centers, and we have 8 research centers and 2 what we call forums. And I won't go into detail into these because I think that we have representatives here that later on will say something more about the research centers. But we have these 4. STC, it's focusing on sensor-based systems and services in the electronics and computer science with focus on industrial IT and digital services, works very closely with industry. We have FSEN, which conducts world-leading research in collaboration with the industry in sub-process from forest to paper, biomaterial, and develop new products. We have STRC. It's focusing on sports technology and additive manufacturing, developing products for outdoor and sports activities, as well as products meeting demands of people with disabilities. And we have eTour, which develops and communicates science knowledge about tourism and travel. Then no problem. Okay, then you can't see it, but it says Demicom. It's our Media and Communication Research Center, where they conduct research not only on communication and media, but also on democracy. So it's the relation between media communication and the democracy that's focused on there. skip to DER, ER, which is a center that is focusing on business, administration and management, conducts industry-oriented research on economic relations of individuals and companies in banking, insurance, pension, audit, and real estate industries. NVC is our another sports center focusing on winter sports, but also other sports like diving and climbing, looking at performance and the relationship between sports and health, but also para sports. RCR is the Risk and Crisis Research Center. It develops and communicates knowledge about risk, crisis, and security. And then we have these two boxes. It's our two forums. They have a special task, not only doing excellent and high quality research, but also communicating and working together with different community organizations to be like a hub for this research and activities both within the university and outside the university. And FGF is our Gender Study Forum, which is an interdisciplinary platform which both initiative and coordinate research in gender studies. And PUDI, which is a forum that focusing on digitalization and conducts research on digitalization, its consequences and challenges. Right. I'll leave the floor to you.
Thank you. So after this introduction, I will try to model in some way how we could interact in the steps that was highlighted before, in the short term, in the long term. And I think that one of the things that is important to understand for others, our part, is that we don't need and we are not striving for one-to-one exchange, one student in, one student out. We have a broader perspective of this, and that comes not only from our own policies, but also from the regulation and the way it works from our government instructions on internationalization. So what does it mean? It means that we can have an exchange of research in one direction, and we can have a student exchange in the other direction. Of course, it's very nice if we can have both at the same time, but we are not restricted by that. We would like to focus on this full year or one semester exchange that is related to how to say, if it's shorter in exchange programs, that is no problem. But if it's getting longer, we have a free exchange for 1 year. Then it's tuition for the second. So that is one way of lowering the cost for the student. And that is a government policy that's available. Just to mention, I will give out some brochure where you will see the tuition fees for the Swedish system and so on. And it's good to know all of this. We have on the bachelor, we have on the bachelor level and we have on the master level. And I would say that over the years, we have focused most on the master level. The reason for this is that it's easier to evaluate, and we are in the Bologna system within EU, and as long as it can be matched, it's easy for us to match with other educational institutions. We are open up more when it comes to the bachelor level, but there it's usually to have a course package, something that makes students come in, know the environment, and maybe see what kind of directions we have to offer and what that will bring to the student, their strive for excellence and so on, and that becomes a stepping stone in some way in. So we are developing more of that. I will come to it later. So here are the international master programs. We have a lot of them when it comes to the engineering study and the science and technology area, but we have a number of them within the center or the forums that we have of research in humanities and social science as well. Of course, we have a number of traditional master programs. That means quite a lot of lecturing, labs, exercise, and so on. But we also have this form that we find quite inspiring, especially when we have been working with international students. This is Master by Research. And I need to say some words about that. This means that it's in some way a short-term research-driven study. You take courses together, but usually maybe smaller groups, and you work with a research team on the current research questions that is ongoing, usually in projects together with industry. That creates an environment that in some is rather similar to the research environment. Why we are interested in that is, of course, there is a need for Sweden to increase the number of engineers to the green transition. It doesn't, in Sweden, we have a constant number of students that would like to study engineering, but the demand is growing faster than the interests. So there is a really need for us to have international students coming in to work in education and also meet the industry there. So the Master by Research is one way of forming such programs and allowing also a larger variety of projects and experience. We also find it important when it comes to engineering and science and technology to emphasize the experimental work. We find that in many places where you have a lot of students and large classes, the time that you can really spend in the instrument and really doing the science work there is limited. It's a limiting factor. And that is one thing that we would like to use to attract students to work with us. Of course, this will be students from everywhere, together with Swedish students and with PhD students and so that is involved in one group around this. A lot of this, a few at least, well, quite a lot of them is also proceeding or want to proceed either at our university or the home university PhD program later on. We also have 1 year masters, and that is it's something unique, and it can be possible in certain areas that really makes sense. So we have it in tourism, business administration, marketing management. We also have it in additive manufacturing that is really targeting in a shorter period some of the key issues. Sport, performance, and athlete health is another area. I said something about the bachelor level. Here we are developing these kind of course packages. We would like to have it as packages. We also have individual courses. And some of the courses is project-based. It means that you can come there to stay and work rather freely, once again, with perhaps a master student group and do your thing to really get the feeling what's going on in the master's program. But we have in these different fields, there are these kind of offers to bachelor students. And that is in some way an internship, depending on how it is at your university. What openings is it for free courses, to choose some free courses and travel? We are targeting to develop more of these in the future. It's an ongoing process, and the next year it will be more. So here are the possibility to start in the autumn or in the spring. It's a little bit different. This one needs to follow on our web page and in dialogue with our international office, how it works. It will be also explained a little bit more there. Let me say something about the PhD programs. The PhD programs in Sweden is 4 years. And they are, it's a paid position. It's not a study program like by tuition. We don't accept tuition students in that sense that are paying themselves, but we accept for example, industrial PhD students that are paid by the industry, or paid by a governmental organization, or paid by another university, international university. There it's not, then going in the employment situation. Then there is an agreement between us and the organization that is holding the employment, that we would like to see that it guarantees the free research time. So it's possible to pursue the PhD education in a reasonable amount of time. Each PhD program starts by defining the study program. That includes the coursework that should be done, the research questions that should be addressed, what kind of midterm seminar and evaluation should be done. And finally, of course, this is monitored by the faculty board to see the progress of the PhD students' studies. All this is regulated by a national framework of law. So of course it's not possible for us to change that, but it's a Swedish system in it. It might be in the future that we will have a 3-year PhD program, but right now it's 4 years. I would like to highlight the PhD program that we currently are doing in international collaborations. Within Transtech, one of the, strong research environments that we have a special agreement with one of the Swedish funding organizations that has given us a financial frame to decide and define research programs or calls from this. And one of the calls that we have designed and also got approved is this kind of international PhD student program. And it's got to tell, structure. It means that it will be a joint effort between Mid-Sweden University, an international university, this funding organization, and industry. So in this case, we have the first generation of PhD students starting. It's 10 students in the model, and it's from Europe and Canada that they are coming at the moment. We'll launch the next phase of this with 10 more students, and this call is open, and we are looking for international collaborators that can work with this. It's always a Swedish industry behind it, and it should be financed by the international university the first year. The students should stay at the international university the first year. The second, third, and fourth year should be in Sweden. And it starts then at the Mid-Sweden University from year 2 and 3 in the environment. But the key thing is, during that time, we would like to build this research exchange with the international institution. And the final year will be in industry, positioned in the industry. I think you could realize that this is, of course, a strategic point for Swedish industry to recruit PhD students and increase the number of international PhD students that are employed in industry. We have a quite high track record when it comes to having our PhD students going to industry. Within Transtech, this environment, it's about 60 to 70% of the students that ends up in industry in the long run. That is higher than other institutions in Sweden that has a lower value. But I think that comes from the final year emphasizing the interaction with industry. What is a Mid-Sweden University strategy to do that? Well, we would like to have a larger percentage of alumnus in industry coming from us to build a stronger research collaboration in the future with key industry. So we are not doing it just for that we are nice, but we have also a strategic agenda behind. So it's open. We are in the current program. We have agreement with the Technical University in Vienna, Technical University in Zurich, UBC Vancouver in Canada is one of them, and we are striving to build relationship in all these places. We have guest professors. Now I'm just talking about the Transtech environment, but this is something that Professor Dan Bylund, that is Dean of the Faculty of Science, Technology and Media, has been investing in the faculty to have more guest professors to drive these kind of collaborations. And that is maybe one of the possibilities that we might have in collaboration. This was my final slide. I will also say some words about innovation. I noticed that you had a very strong innovation program and you were, how to say, quite active when it comes to patents. Our region in the Sweden region is the one leading when it comes to number of patents filed. Well, part of it is of course from research, but it's also because of some of the industry partners that we have that is really active in funding and driving patents. Our situation is that the university doesn't own patents. It's a professor themselves that owns all innovations and the patents. We can finance it and push some own part of it and have a revenue if it's sold. But many times our research results in patent filed by the industry. So it's a little bit different structure now. It could be worth mentioning. We have, together with the regional incubators that is driven by the municipalities, financed by the Innovation Office in Sweden, we are collaborating to have our spin-out companies also placed in these regional incubators. And within these regional incubators, we have this kind of acceleration program. It means that we work together with IBM, for example, SCA, which is a big forest industry company. We will work more with the electricity companies and so on, which trying to drive these ideas that have come a little bit further to become really successful in the business line. And also welcoming new companies internationally. We have some Australian companies coming in, but here it's working on what's the strong industrial segment that we have. For example, the forest industry, green transition, energy development, green energy, hydrogen, these kind of questions that it's, how to say, focused by these industries to support. So that is also a possibility for collaboration in the future. I will stop there and I will go around just to share this small document that introduces something about our system.
Thank you very much for these wonderful presentations. I think it's time for us to move for lunch. So we'll move now and then we'll go for campus tour. And then we'll go to the breakout groups for one-to-one discussion. So thank you so much, everyone. We will make a move now.